stop what you're doing. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to completely rewrite the way you see money. You've seen them: the guy driving the beat up car, the woman eating lunch she packed from home, the neighbor who never seems to buy anything new, the coworker who wears the same few outfits every week without apology. You probably thought, they're struggling. Maybe you felt a little sorry for them. Maybe you quietly judged them. But here's what nobody tells you: that person, they might be the wealthiest one in the room, and the one flashing designer clothes and a brand new car, the one posting luxury vacations every other week, the one whose whole life looks like a highlight reel, probably drowning in debt they'll never fully escape. Everything you think you know about wealth is backwards. And today, we are going to dismantle it completely. Before we go further, we need to understand something important. You didn't develop your beliefs about money in a vacuum. You were programmed, deliberately from a very young age. Every movie you watched showed rich people in mansions with sports cars. Every music video sold you the image of wealth through jewelry and private jets. Every advertisement told you that buying this product would signal your status to the world. You absorbed thousands of hours of content that equated visible spending with success. And the companies selling you those products, they got enormously rich doing it because they understood a psychological truth that most people never question. Humans are social creatures. We care deeply and instinctively about how we appear to others. And the moment someone figures out how to monetize that insecurity, they have found the most powerful sales engine in human history. You weren't weak for falling for it, you were human. But now it's time to see it for what it is. We live in a world that has completely confused spending with success. We see someone with an expensive watch and assume they're rich. We see someone driving an old car and assume they're failing. We see someone in designer clothes and assume they've made it. But wealth isn't what you see. Wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the money that never got spent, the investment that quietly grew for 15 years, the assets sitting in the background generating income while nobody noticed, the portfolio that never got photographed or posted. Think about it this way: if someone spent every dollar they earned on visible things, cars, clothes, restaurants, vacations, what would their net worth be? Zero. Or worse, negative. But if someone earned the same income and spent modestly, investing the difference consistently for decades, potentially millions, silently, invisibly, without a single post, the richest people in the room are often the quietest ones, and the loudest ones are often the most broke. There's a term for this phenomenon: stealth wealth. It's the deliberate, conscious choice to look ordinary on the outside while building extraordinary financial power underneath the surface. And the people who practice it share one core belief: they simply do not care what you think about their money. Not their car, not their clothes, not their phone, not their neighborhood, not their vacation destination, not their restaurant choices. They have completely and permanently disconnected their identity from their spending. They do not need your approval. They do not need your admiration. They are not buying things to communicate anything to anyone. They buy things because those things serve a function. Full stop. And that one mental shift, that single profound disconnection between identity and spending, it is worth more than any salary raise you will ever receive, because it removes the single most expensive habit most humans have: the habit of buying things to feel like someone. Here's a concept that almost nobody talks about: the appearance tax. Every time you buy something to look wealthy instead of become wealthy, you pay a hidden tax. You pay it with money you could have invested. You pay it with time that could have compounded. You pay it with opportunity cost, the invisible price of the road not taken. Let's make this concrete. Say you spend $800 a month on things designed purely to signal status. $800 a month. That's $9,600 a year spent on appearances. Now imagine instead you invested that $800 a month at a modest 8% annual return. In 10 years, over $145,000. In 20 years, over $470,000. In 30 years, nearly $1.2 million. dollars. That is the appearance tax, paid not in one dramatic moment, but in thousands of small, invisible, completely ordinary decisions made every single month. The person driving the luxury car to impress strangers they'll never see again, paying the appearance tax every single month. The person driving the 10-year-old reliable car and investing the difference, collecting interest on their invisibility. Now, here's where it gets truly fascinating, because this isn't just theory. The data backs this up completely. Thomas Stanley spent decades researching actual millionaires in America, not the ones on TV, not the ones on social media, real, verified, documented millionaires. What he found shocked the mainstream completely. The majority of millionaires do not live in mansions. They live in modest homes in ordinary neighborhoods, the kind of house you drive past without a second glance. They do not drive exotic cars. Most drive used vehicles or practical mid-range models. Many drive the same car for a decade or more. They do not wear designer labels. They shop at normal stores. They look completely unremarkable, deliberately so. Stanley called this the millionaire next door, the quiet, invisible, accumulating wealth builder who looks like everyone else, because looking like everyone else is vastly cheaper than performing success. Every dollar you spend performing wealth is a dollar that cannot build it. Now let's talk about the real enemy, because it's not dead, it's not low income, it's not even bad luck. The real enemy is comparison. The moment you start measuring your life against someone else's visible lifestyle, you've already lost the wealth game, because you are not comparing your reality to their reality. You are comparing your reality to their performance. That colleague with a brand new car, they might be financing it at 19% interest. That friend posting from a luxury resort, they might have put every trip on a credit card they'll spend 2 years paying off. You are racing against a highlight reel and wrecking your actual finances to keep up with a fiction. Social media has made this comparison trap infinitely more dangerous, because now the highlight reel is everywhere, all day, every day, in your pocket, on your nightstand, first thing in the morning, last thing before sleep. The algorithm rewards display, it rewards spending, it rewards performance. It has zero incentive to show you the person quietly maxing out their retirement account on a Tuesday afternoon. Recognizing this trap is not enough. You have to actively, deliberately, and repeatedly choose to opt out of it. So, what does stealth wealth actually look like in practice? Brace yourself, because it looks boring, genuinely, aggressively, almost offensively boring. It's driving the same reliable car for 8 years. It's living in the same modest apartment while your investment accounts grow quietly. It's cooking at home 4 or 5 nights a week, not because you can't afford restaurants, but because you've done the math. It's wearing clothes until they wear out. It's buying last year's phone model. It's saying no, clearly, comfortably, without guilt, to things that don't move your financial position forward. It's not glamorous. Nobody will post about your discipline. The algorithm will never reward your index fund contribution. But the boring wealth builder understands something in their bones. They are not optimizing for today's appearance. They are optimizing for tomorrow's options. And 10 years from now, the boring person wins every single time. Here's what the stealth wealth mindset understands that most people spend their entire lives never grasping. There are two scoreboards running simultaneously. The first is the visible scoreboard: cars, clothes, vacations, gadgets, followers, loud, public, designed to be seen. The second is the invisible scoreboard: net worth. passive income, assets, financial freedom, options, silent, generating no likes, earning no comments, but it is the only scoreboard that actually determines the quality of your life. Most people are completely obsessed with winning the visible scoreboard. They spend everything they have and everything they don't have to score points on a game that pays out nothing real. The stealth wealth builder ignores the visible scoreboard entirely. They have decided, consciously, deliberately, that they are playing a different game, a longer game, a quieter game, and they are winning it in complete and total silence. Let's ground this in reality, because stealth wealth isn't just a theory, it shows up in real life constantly. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest humans to ever walk the earth, still lives in the same modest house in Omaha, Nebraska that he bought in 1958. He drives himself to work. He eats at McDonald's. He genuinely does not perform his wealth. Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, a man worth tens of billions, famously flew economy class, drove an old Volvo, and bought his clothes at flea markets. Not because he had to, because he had completely separated his identity from spending. These aren't quirky exceptions. They are illustrations of a pattern. The people who build the most wealth are often the least interested in displaying it. Income is not wealth. Income is just the raw material. What you do with it, quietly, consistently, over time, is what determines everything. So how do you actually make this shift? 4 steps. Simple, not easy, but simple. First, stop performing. Audit every recurring expense and ask one honest question. Am I buying this because it serves me or because of how it makes me look? Every purchase made to impress someone else is a vote against your own future. Cast fewer of those votes. Second, redefine what rich means to you. Rich is not a car. Rich is not a watch. Rich is waking up on a Monday morning and having genuine options about how you spend your day. Third, find your invisible wins. When you make an investment, celebrate it. When you pay off a debt, acknowledge it. When you finish a month having lived below your means, recognize that as a genuine victory. These wins are real. They just happen on the invisible scoreboard. Fourth, commit to the long game. Stealth wealth is not a 30-day reset. It is a quiet, patient, relentless, multi-year march toward a finish line that most people around you cannot even see yet. You will look like you're losing for a long time. That's not a bug. That's the feature. The person who looks broke might be building an empire, quietly, patiently, invisibly. The person who looks rich might be one missed paycheck away from collapse, loudly, publicly, performatively. Appearances lie. They have always lied. They will always lie. Numbers don't. The balance sheet doesn't care what your car looks like. The compound interest calculator doesn't care what neighborhood you live in. The investment account doesn't care how many likes your vacation got. The most powerful financial decision you will ever make is the decision to stop caring what your wealth looks like to other people and to start caring deeply, obsessively, patiently about what it actually is. Go boring. Go quiet. Go invisible. Build the scoreboard nobody else can see. And one day, without an announcement, without a celebration, without a single post, you will realize you have won a game most people didn't even know was being played.